Good morning. Welcome to the Long Live Alternative Parties podcast. Free Press Media Press Inc., an alternative parties books publisher, sponsors this podcast. I'm Andrew Bouchard. Welcome to the Long Live Alternative Parties podcast. Today, Alternative Party friends, we have another exciting guest. Her name is Zarah, and she's running for office with the Green Party. So she's going to talk to us about her exciting campaign and exciting stuff she's been doing. So welcome to the podcast, Zarah.
Hi.
Zarah, let us get started by you kindly giving us an introduction to yourself, a brief biographical sketch.
I kind of just picked up and started doing things, really. It's not like an exciting story to it, to be honest, but, I'm 28 years old now, well, freshly 28, because my birthday's in July, and, I just come from a fun little suburb in Pittsburgh.
All right. So what led you to the Green Party in the first place?
At first, oh my goodness, my throat. At first I picked independent,
Okay.
because I thought about the Green Party before, but I didn't really know too much about them until I met them, I'd say the month after I'd picked being independent and everything. I think the issue I ran into was I was more into community-based things, and even though it's kind of the purpose of the independent party to do stuff on your own, I was there's not a lot of cohesive togetherness that I found. Maybe that's just be in Pennsylvania, but there was a lot more of that with the Green Party. It's the more I found out about them, and I just talked with a couple of the people that I knew that were in the party already and everything like that.
All right. Sounds good. So kindly tell our audience what race you're running for.
District 32 for representative in Harrisburg.
Okay. So Harrisburg, so the district covers the whole city of Harrisburg, or does it cover part of the city?
No. So for us, it covers District 32 is Penn Hills, I believe Warnock, Sharpsburg, some of Oakmont, some of Penn Hills. It's because Oakmont and Penn Hills are pretty big. It's not the whole district for some reason.
Okay.
And who am I forgetting? Warnock, Sharpsburg, Oakmont, Penn Hills. Who am I missing? There's a fifth one. That's a shame. I should know that. But
That's
it's also
okay.
another smaller town that I personally haven't been to super often as an adult.
Okay, so your district covers Harrisburg and also the names that you mentioned, those are other cities in Pennsylvania,
Yeah,
right?
you visit Harrisburg, but that's where you go basically. It sounds confusing, but my district doesn't even touch Harrisburg. If that makes sense.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. I've been to Pennsylvania. I went to Philadelphia area. I've never been to Harrisburg, so I'm not familiar with the area. Pardon my ignorance. So kindly tell our audience the demographics of this district that you're planning to represent.
I know for where I live, it's mostly, I'd say further back in the day, mostly Black, Italian, pretty diverse now still. I believe some Hispanic as well. And then Oakmont, I believe, is mostly white.
Okay.
From what I know. Sharpsburg is a mixture as well. The Lonox. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. And then, yeah.
So kindly tell us what your opponents are like, who's running against you, and how do you distinguish yourselves from them?
So right now it's just Tony DeLuca, who has been our representative since, I believe, Reagan has been in office.
That long?
Which is a very long time, yes. I'm actually not kidding when I say that. It surprises everyone.
Oh, my.
So mostly it's for me, it's also a breath of fresh air to have in there, as well as hopefully, even if it wasn't me, somebody who actually kind of talks to constituents because he doesn't really say much or hasn't said much, at least as long as I've lived here. Even on like current events that have happened in our district, I'm like, where are you? You know, like you can be a representative, but if you only send me like a birthday card in the mail or whatever, like I don't. That's nice, you know.
So is he a Democrat or Republican?
He's a Democrat, yeah.
Okay. Now, as the Democrats go, how would you place him? Is he a progressive Democrat? I don't think it doesn't sound like it, but maybe he is. Is he a blue dog Democrat, or what is he like?
I take him as the more like conservative Democrat, even though I don't like that phrase because it doesn't make sense to me. Like more like old school conservative side, because of like, you know, the generation he was in and everything. Yeah, I would say more like old school, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, you know.
Sure. So how do you plan to implement your green vision in this race and also in the position shall you get it?
I'm hoping to honestly actually have people, sorry, there was a bird in my window, like feel like they can actually talk to the person that's representing them. Like you can always like get in touch with people and do a contact form on the website, but like I feel like people feel disconnected.
Sure.
Maybe not in like traditional sense, but like sure maybe he's like reached back out to some people, but I don't think I've ever really seen like a formal like speech from him really in recent years, or like just something where he comes out and he's like, hey, this is what I think and I want to do for the community, and like, what are your thoughts on it? You know, just like literally, I mean, I feel like the bare minimum. Not that I want to do the bare minimum, but like I feel like that's unfortunately where we need to start all over again, essentially.
All right. And what platform are you bringing to this race? What issues are you addressing in your area for this race?
You mean like where, just like how? Sorry.
No, like what specific issues are you bringing to the table?
Oh, more, I mean, I know for just like the 3 districts that I've been in the most, I know there's not a lot of stuff for like youth, currently. Okay. So like bringing more of that to the table, bringing more resources for parents as well. And then there's really not many like groups that people can join, and I mean just more like community stuff to do. Like there's not even really like a mutual aid group or like, I don't know, like a youth volunteer group and things like that. So just more stuff like that where people can feel like, I mean, more inter-community, really.
Sure. So you want to make more options available for people to get involved in civic engagement? Is that a way you would assess it? So are you planning to start, you said there's not that many programs, are you planning to, if you get elected, to start more programs in the area? Is that how you plan to remedy it? Or do you want to do it through grants, or how do you want to do that?
Yeah, I would be starting it. I mean, you know, I don't even have to be elected to do that. Like, I have started, like, a small one. I think it would be nice to kind of see a representative do that, because I don't really know many that do. I'm sure there are, but, like, besides, like, maybe a few that are from, like, the city districts, I don't really see much of it in, like, suburban areas, which is really interesting. Because I remember someone was asking me, like, are there any, like, LGBTQIA type stuff? And I'm like, to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever even seen that, like, started by, like, youth or anything. And I don't know if maybe they feel like they can't, but just kind of more, like, catapulting things that maybe people were afraid to start, or, like, maybe just felt uncomfortable because they don't exist. And then more, I guess, like, platforming ways that people can feel more comfortable generally speaking out. You know, like, it doesn't mean you have to, like, yell at someone, which, I mean, if I'm, like, a representative, I get it. but just, yeah, like, feel comfortable in saying what they want to say.
Sure. So how about access for this race? I think, from what I understand from interviewing the Pennsylvania candidates, you have to earn it, or you already have it. How does that work?
So when you run as like a third party, I think they're all different, the amount of signatures. I had to get, was it 3? There was like a target number we got, and it was like in the thousands, I'm pretty sure. We were trying to do a couple of them all at once. So I think our target was like 1,000 something.
Okay.
Well, that was our true target. But yeah, you do kind of have to earn the spot, unless, I know sometimes there's things with special elections, and you don't necessarily have to. You can just, that's how you earned your place on the ballot. But yeah, you have to put in a lot of hard work. It's definitely, it turns into crunch time sometimes. I think all of them are like that. I think just Democrats have a lot more signatures because they're an official party, and they have more tools and things like that at their disposal. Not that the Green Party is an official party, but, you know, it's like the two major parties kind of thing.
Sure.
But yeah.
So you already got the signatures done and you're on the ballot?
Yeah, those were due, was that the end of August? No, it was August 1st. They were due. And then you wait, like, I want to say we waited like a whole week because they can also be challenged, which is really fun.
Yeah, amazing.
And thankfully this year, you know, everyone for the Greens we got on the ballot.
Congrats.
Thank you.
So what is your campaign strategy? How do you plan to reach the voters?
So I'm really good with social media just because of other community work I do. So obviously it's not going to be like the end all be all, but I'm going to try a lot of that. And then we are going to do, the goal is to kind of like take a group kind of maybe like per month or per week until election time and just like pervade the districts, which will be really interesting because we're going to go in a group. So I think it'll make people feel comfortable as well. And just kind of be like, hey, no matter what party, no matter what you're going to vote, like, what do you want to see happen? Or what would you like to see happen? And then kind of just literally talk to people.
So you're open to talking to people who may have different views than you?
Oh, absolutely.
That's awesome. That's open-minded of you. So when is the election? I assume it's during the general election in November that's coming up for the nation, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's September, so you got, is it less than 2 months?
Yeah. Yeah, so more likely it's going to be that per week strategy.
So do you have a team working for you, or are you doing this all by yourself?
No, I do not have a team. Well, it's like people within the Green Party as well. We kind of just like help each other out. It's very autonomous in a way, which I know is not ideal, but it works out just because like since I do have a background in community work, I can also kind of pull from resources that maybe other candidates may have not had, which is really nice. And then also it kind of brings, I know for a couple people it's brought comfortability in people like emailing me or just like DMing me like, hey, I'm so glad you're running because like, you know, my family knows DeLuca or whatever, but like it's time to do something else. So yeah, it's been very interesting and awesome to see. And like even I know when I first started saying I was running, like I definitely also wanted to do something which we might end up releasing this later because we've been trying to like film it, like how to run so that people that are even like younger than me kind of will have more tools than even like I did because it'll be
that'd be good.
Something that's there.
So you plan on using this experience to further instruct other potential candidates for office?
Yeah. Like, I feel like as long as, you know, well, you don't have to be fine with public speaking, because sometimes even I'm like, oh, it's time to go. You know, as long as you have the passion to run and you have issues that are very important to you enough that you're willing to, like, speak on them or, you know, kind of delegate a group to do them, whatever, however you want to do it, do it. Like, literally none of us are getting any younger.
Yes, that's true. So, Zarah, how can our audience out there support your campaign?
Yeah, like, I'm always contactable via social media. They're all Zarah for BA32. We're accepting donations as well, which they can be either made through the Green Party website, and we're setting up, like, the official, like, PayPal and things like that. Just because we were so busy with petitioning, it kind of flew back to the wayside. Or, you know, if you see me around, like, at events and things like that, you can hand them to me. I give them to, like, the financial person and stuff, but, you know, I'm always available, I promise.
That's good. That's awesome. Zarah, we thank you kindly for coming on the podcast today and talking about your campaign. We thank you for accepting our invitation to speak with us today.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
We wish you all the best in your campaign and all your future professional and personal endeavors.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All the best. Bye now.
Bye.